In today's class, we are going to discuss about lab record number 4. In this lab session, what we'll be doing is we'll try to, the one which I have highlighted is what we are trying to do today. Okay, so please note the concept which we would like to understand through this program. Okay, the program is just a means. It's not that I wanted to focus on the program, rather I wanted to focus on the concept which this program is going to demonstrate. Okay, one is permissions. Yesterday I've done that in the theory hour, but I'm going to repeat that entire thing once again because I want it in this program. And the second concept which needs to be explained or demonstrated here is broadcast receiver. Okay, which all these things I've already done before as individual classes. So if you have not gone through the previous sessions or previous hours, okay, it might be a little bit confusing in this program. So I would recommend you to read or go through the previous 3 or 4 classes where I've explained all important concepts which are required and then start with this program. Okay, the example application, what we are going to do is to receive an OTP. Okay, so most of the time we see SMS coming to our phone and our application reads that SMS and fetches only the OTP from that message and puts it in our window so that my login is verified. Okay, we are seeing that in almost all apps right now. Okay, and the second part is that usage of telephony to trigger an SMS. All right, so first what I'll do is how I've written the question only I'll be doing it. First we'll be doing an activity which will be able to read an incoming SMS and get only the OTP from that SMS and put it in my text box. One. Second thing what I'm going to do is I'm going to create another activity in which I take the number from the user and send an SMS. Okay, normally it is not happening like this. Normally we take an API to send an SMS, paid or some limited like 100 SMS per day like that. There are APIs available. So through that only we'll be sending. Since I don't want to do that complicated thing, here I'm going to use our app to send an SMS to our phone itself. And we are going to verify whether the OTP is being detected and put in the corresponding text boxes. Okay, so with that introduction to the question, let's go to the program. So let me close this. I've created a project in Android Studio called as Lab Record 4. I'm going to do the program here. So the first thing I'm going to do is in the main activity, I'm going to create text boxes because let's say that our OTP is like 5 digits or 6 digits. Okay, that I leave it to you because some people have 4-digit OTP, some people have 5-digit OTP. Okay, so that is entirely up to you. In this program, I'm going to take 5-digit OTP. Okay, so I need a text box or I can put 5 text boxes and one button to just continue or verify or something like that. But normally what we will write is once the OTP has come and the text box is filled with data, we take you to the next page saying that you are validated. So first let me do the design, which is going to be very simple. Let me delete this hello world which is already there, and let me put one layout called linear layout. I want the controls one after the other, so I'll put it like this. Okay, a horizontal linear layout. Okay, and one more thing I'm going to do is inside this horizontal linear layout, I'm going to put text boxes, okay, which will hold numbers. So I'm going to create or just drag and drop 5 controls, okay, 5 text boxes, please note, because each text box will hold one number. All right, so let me just drag and drop 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Right now I have 5 text boxes in this linear layout. Please note the component tree here. This is a very helpful tool or helpful window for which you can see how the hierarchy goes. Inside the constraint layout, you have a linear layout. Inside the linear layout, you have all these controls. Okay, so I'm going to click on the linear layout. I'll go to the attributes and I'll not name it right now. It says there's an error saying constraints because constraints are not applied. Please note linear layout is inside constraint layout. So how do I avoid this issue? Just click on the constraint layout and say infer constraints because it will take all of the linear layout into it. So now the error is gone. Let me come back to linear layout and I'll say width is not 0 dp. I'll say wrap the content. How much ever content is there, that much width you give me. Height also the same way. I hope you can see this, right? Okay, so I have kept it, I've kept the control in the middle, but it is touching the corners of my screen. So let me just click on all these. I'll just select all these 5 text boxes. I can select them through the design or through the component tree also. I've just chosen all the 5 and let me come and give some properties which are common to all the text boxes there. First one, I'll give a margin Okay, so let's give the margin as let's say 5 or 10 BP, not more than that. Okay, somewhat like this, so that it's not too close to the borders. That's all. Okay, and you can also give a margin to the layout itself. Okay, the linear layout itself. Let me just give 20 dp so that it comes a little bit smaller. Okay, inside that. Okay, within that control, wherever you are getting the margin. Okay, so that is done. So I have 5 text boxes. I can keep it wherever I want, guys. I can keep it in the top or bottom or in the middle. Right now I kept in the center because I'm not going to keep anything else in this design, only this much. Okay, if you feel that the distance between these text boxes are too big, you can obviously change the margin and reduce the margin as you want. Okay, I leave it up to you guys. Now let me again select all these 5 controls. There are some more common properties which I want to give. Number one is it's already a input type number. I will not give any hint there because number has to be filled automatically. Okay, and I'm not going to keep a button here in this design because after this I'll automatically take you to the next page, which I am not doing in this program. Okay, so let me go to the text appearance. I'll just say large. Okay, and there will not be any text right now. I'll just make it bold and I'll make the color of that as a black one. Okay, that's it. Yes, my work here almost here is done because this design is only this much. Okay, so when you run the program, you will be seeing 5 text boxes coming one after the other, but you will not be entering the data. Please remember that. Basically, all these things will automatically be filled. Okay, and there's one more common property which is not required, but still I'm putting it purposely because I want to make sure that the length, the content of each text box cannot be more than 1. So I'll just search for a property called max length. Okay, and I'll give the max length as 1. What do you mean by that? In each text box, only one data can be there. And I've also given a restriction saying that it is input type equal to number, which means each box can only hold one number. Okay, I hope this is clear to you guys. I hope there will not be any confusion here. Okay, now one more thing I want to do is when you enter text, okay, let me just show you with one thing so that you understand how it goes. Let's say that if I enter 5, okay, look at where 5 comes. In the text box, I hope it's visible to you guys. Okay, let me just zoom a little bit. Okay, in the text box, where is that 5 coming? The 5 is coming in the left side, not in the middle, but all your OTP apps, you would have seen that it comes exactly in the middle. So let me just do that also. Let me select all these controls and go to a property called gravity again. Okay, and in that gravity, I will choose something which says center horizontal and check whether it works. Here, it comes in the middle. Okay, you can change the size and the font and all those things, guys. I leave it up to you. But right now I applied that same property to all the controls, right? So that is gravity and it's coming in exactly in the middle. You can also change the font so that you can see how your number will come into. Okay, or the font size or however you want. Okay, I'll just choose font size, small caps. Okay, and if you want, you can increase the size of the display also. Okay, I leave it up to you entirely. Okay, the number, how big you want it, all those things I leave it to you. So I've just kept it like this. So 5-digit numbers will be printed. This I just put for me to preview how the output will look like, but nothing should be there in the text. It should be a blank text box. So this will be waiting for OTP. That's all. Okay, if you see the screen, only one label, if you want, you can put on the top saying waiting for OTP, but I think we understand what is happening, so I'll not put anything. Let me just, if you want, you can also add a text view on top. Okay, wherever you want it. It's a constraint layout, so you can obviously keep constraints. Okay, let me just infer constraints and I'll change the text of this. I'll just say waiting for OTP. Okay, nothing else I'll put here, and I'll just say appearance to be large. Okay, only this much I'll put, guys. I'll not put much. Okay, so I'll just say waiting for OTP and the OTP text box. This is the design, nothing else I'm going to put in the design. So the first part, the design part is done. Let's go to the next part. Okay, so what am I supposed to do in the next part? Please remember, as soon as an SMS comes to my phone, okay, sending SMS I'll do towards the second part of the program, guys. The first part of the program is to receive an SMS and read the content of that SMS and put it here in the text boxes, relevant text boxes. Okay, so first of all, let's see how whether I'm able to receive an SMS. Okay, first of all. Second, let me see whether I'm able to read that SMS. Third one will be to go through that SMS and get the OTP alone from that SMS and fill it here in the text box. We'll do step by step. What is the first step? The first step is to make sure that your app recognizes, okay, or your app is able to understand that an SMS has just come to the phone. How do I do that? Okay, for that, first thing you need to do is permissions. That's why I said we are going to explain permissions through this program. I hope by now everybody knows how to do permissions. Let me just do it quickly. I'll not explain too much because I think I've already done it in the previous classes. So first I will go to the manifest. Okay, and in the manifest above the application tag, I am going to ask the user the app to get me permissions. Okay, and the reason why I'm writing here in this particular app or in this particular area is because I want to make sure that older phones, okay, even in older phones, this is enough to get permissions. So I'm just writing this uses permission. Okay, and what permission I want? First of all, I want permission to receive an SMS. That's the first permission. Second permission which I would like to take is to read SMS. Okay, please note these two permissions I need. That's all I'm going to write in the manifest now. Okay, remaining everything I'll be manipulating it in code. Okay, I hope this is clear. Let me go to the second part, the activity. Okay, and if it is an older version of a phone, this is enough. Till Marshmallow, before Marshmallow, this is enough. But Marshmallow and above, I would like to add a little bit more. It is runtime permission. Okay, so let me just do it in on create. As soon as this activity loads, okay, or I should be able to write this in the first activity which your system comes, or when the system is about to receive an SMS. Okay, so let me just ask the permission from the user. How do I ask? It's very simple. I'll just put if check self permission. That's an inbuilt method, guys. Just need to use check self permission. What permission? From the manifest permission dot read SMS. I'll only check for one permission. If you are able to receive only, you will be able to read. So I'm going to check only one permission. Am I allowed or am I permitted to read an SMS? I'll just say if it is not equal to granted, permission granted. Okay. If this is not equal to permission granted, you are supposed to do something. Let me just hide this. Okay. I hope this code is fully visible. If check self permission manifest.permission.read SMS is not equal to granted, which means if it is not equal to granted means not given. Okay, or it is denied, in other words, do something. Okay, but this error is there. Let me fix that. What is that error? It just says that this code cannot work in new versions. It only works in older. So just put an if condition around it saying if the version, build version or the SDK which you are working with is greater than or equal to M, then you do this code. Otherwise, just skip this entire thing and go. Okay, so if it is greater than or equal to Marshmallow, I'm supposed to request permissions. There's only one method and it is a plural. Request permissions. So what are the permissions I require? I'll just create a new string array and the values I'll pass it directly here saying one is manifest.permission.receive SMS, first permission. Second one is manifest.permissions.read SMS. I want these two permissions. Second one is the request code. Please note, last class I did this, but right now I want to show you another way of writing it. Earlier I used to go right there, then come back here. But now what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep it as SMS. I'm just typing it in full caps. I've not initialized it anywhere. Please note that. I'm going to say SMS request code. I'm going to only write this. There will be an error coming because I've not declared it anywhere, right? So let me just click on this and see what system gives me a suggestion. Okay, the system gives me a suggestion as create a constant field. Okay, so you understood what I'm saying, right? System understands that it is a constant field because I wrote everything in capital letter. Okay, so let me create a constant field here. And what type of a constant is it? It's going to be an integer. Let me leave it as it is. Just give some number which you like. Okay, but it cannot be repeating anywhere else. Whenever you create another request code, you cannot use the same number. Remember that. That's all. So now my work is done. All I've done is requesting permission. Now I also need to be aware that if you are able to, if the user has granted that permission or not. I have requested it, but you should grant me that. Okay, so if you have not granted, I will just put a message saying that SMS permission not granted. Please enter the OTP manually. You should tell this also. Alright, so how do I tell that? When do I tell that? When you click on deny. So I need to know which one you clicked on. So I'm going to just type on request permissions result. You can see that there's another method. I'll just tell that word again, on request permissions result. Okay. Once you have requested for permission, that on request permissions result, which means this is result. Okay, this method's result is going to come as a overridden method. And in the last class, I told you to fix this by adding annotation. You can also do one more thing. This is what I'm going to tell in this class. Delete that entire thing except at not null. This is enough. Okay, that at org dot till not null, you can delete it. Okay, just keep at not null. That's enough. This is not required. Now the code would look like this. Okay, please note that you have request code, permissions, grant result. Three things are passed to me through this particular way. Okay, so now once I've got this, how am I supposed to check? Okay, it's a simple if condition, isn't it? Okay, so let me just check with the simple if condition saying that if request code is equal to the same thing which I have created. How do I write that? I'll just write if the request code what I'm passing here. Okay, if I'm calling that request code is equal to. Okay, and I'm going to call SMS request code, the one which you created on top. If it is equal to this, then open the code. Okay, what if it is not that same request code, which means this is not the request you have raised, so you can ignore it. Now I'm going to write another if condition saying that if grant results, which is the result of that operation of 0 or anything, if it is equal to okay, package manager, which is the same as above, package manager dot permission granted. If the permission has been granted, okay, what am I supposed to do? And else, what am I supposed to do? Okay, so if the permission is granted, you can just put a toast saying that SMS permission granted, waiting for OTP, something like that. I'm just going to put that. Okay, I'll leave the context as it is. Next one, I'm going to say SMS permission granted. Okay, that's all. Nothing else I'm going to put. But in case if you have not given the permission and if you have denied the permission to read SMS, I'm also supposed to tell him very clearly that permission was denied. Okay, let me just put that. I'll say SMS permission denied. Please enter OTP manually. Okay, that's all. This is my second step. Okay, first step is that if the permission is granted, I'll just say, I'll perform as usual. I'll just tell that permission is granted. So I'll just tell it's granted. But if you deny it, I cannot read the SMS. If I'm not able to read the SMS, this entire program is waste for me because I'm expecting you to receive the SMS and put it in the text boxes appropriately. So how am I not able to do this? Because I put this code. Okay, so and if at all I am not getting that permission, I'll not be able to read your SMS. If I'm not able to read the SMS, there is no point in continuing with this particular program. So I'm just putting that, please enter the OTP manually. So we go to the SMS app, read the SMS and then put the OTP here. Okay. So that will be my next operation. So SMS permission is done. What is the second thing? Okay. By the way, what I've demonstrated so far is just the permissions which are required for the app to work. What will be my next step is to receive the broadcast and then pass it on to the application. So how do I get the broadcast into picture? Let's create a broadcast first. Okay, so let me go to the project. Let me right click on the app and add a new other broadcast receiver. Okay, I'll just name it as SMS receiver as yesterday. Same thing. Okay, I'm just going to click on this and say finish. Okay, so now I've added a broadcast receiver to my application, to my project. Please remember that. Okay, let me move on to the next step. Okay, first step was to understand permissions. I hope that is clear in the first step what I've done here. Okay, second thing what I'm going to do is that I am about to receive an SMS. Once you receive an SMS, this code should be triggered. So how do I make sure? And only when you are in this activity that should work. Okay, let's say that my app has n number of activities. Each and every activity should not be waiting for an SMS. Only this activity. Remember this in WhatsApp also, when you open it for the first time, the first activity which you see is to enter the number. And once you enter the number, there's a screen which says waiting for OTP. Okay, that's not going to come every time. It's only going to come first time you install WhatsApp. Okay, or you reinstall WhatsApp and then recover. Okay, all these things are the particular things. So, and that activity alone, where it's waiting for OTP, I need to read the SMS. If I give permission, or if I ask you to wait for OTP in or for a SMS in all the activities, which means WhatsApp is tracking me. Okay, I hope you follow what I'm saying, right? That is a security issue. You cannot give this broadcast receiver to all the activities of your app, only a specific activity. For example, this activity is going to be getting the permission to receive the SMS. But what if I give this in every activity which I have, which means basically you are spying. You are looking for what and all SMS comes to that user. That is not right. Okay, you should be very clear in telling what am I using this SMS for. Okay, so that is what I'm about to do right now. So I have an SMS receiver here. All I need to do is to make sure that I map an SMS. As soon as an SMS comes, I want you to call or trigger this receiver. Okay, so first let me go to the main activity and create an object of that SMS receiver, just like how we did yesterday. Okay, I'm only initializing it. I'm not instantiated yet. So inside the onCreate method, I'm going to instantiate it. I'm going to say receiver is equal to new SMS receiver. That's all. Why am I doing like this? Because I want to access this receiver here and in other methods which I'm about to call, the lifecycle methods which I'm about to call. Okay, so let me just hide these things. So I have already one part is done. I'll not touch that part. Okay, I'll just come out of that app. And right now I'm going to call two lifecycle methods. One is when do you want me to start listening, and when do you want me to stop listening? Okay, first I'm going to say on resume, I want you to start listening, which means register receiver. Please remember, just like how I did yesterday, I'm going to do that. So in order to register receiver, I need to pass two parameters. One is the receiver itself. Second one is the filter. So let me first create an intent filter. So I'll just say intent filter. Let me name it as filter is equal to new intent filter. Okay, and I hope you remember what we did in last class. Okay, in that intent filter, what am I supposed to pass? What am I supposed to listen to? Okay, what am I supposed to filter out and listen to? I'm going to say telephony dot SMS dot intents dot SMS received action. This is an inbuilt thing, guys. There's nothing to see logic there. It is just a class which is available, and you have to use this to make sure that your phone listens to an action of SMS received. Okay, and yesterday I told you one more thing about the priority. I'm going to set the priority now to a bigger number. 999 I'm giving because it's a bigger number. Okay, so based on the number, your priority will be given. How this priority will work, I'll show you shortly. Okay, but remember that. And then next one, I'm going to say register receiver. Okay, so I'll just say register receiver. I need to pass two parameters. Number one is the broadcast receiver, which I've already created. Second one is the intent filter, which again I have created. Done. This is on resume. Okay, what about on stop? When you are moving away from this particular activity, what am I supposed to do? Unregister the receiver. That's all. Which receiver? The same thing which you created. That's it. Okay, so what have I done so far? As soon as an SMS comes, so as soon as this activity opens, I've asked permission to read and receive SMS. Okay, and as soon as the app activity is resumed, I am waiting for you to receive an SMS. And once an SMS has been received, immediately I'll call this receiver object. What is that receiver object? It belongs to this class. I'll go here and call this particular block of code. I'll write the code shortly here. Okay, but I hope this flow is clear to you guys, right? Okay, let's move on. Now let me go to SMS receiver, and all I'm going to do right now is just put a toast and check whether I'm able to listen or whether I'm able to see the SMS has come. I'll just put SMS received. Okay, please note I am only receiving the SMS. I have not read the SMS yet. Okay, I've just received the SMS. Let me run the program and check if it works. Okay, yesterday my emulator was not working properly. I hope now it will work. If it doesn't, please try it in your laptop. Okay, it should work properly. Okay, let's wait for the broadcast receiver to come here. Okay, once it comes, I'm going to call the phone part of your app. It's right now saying Android is always a sweet read. This SMS, any SMS, I've not got or entered into the OTP part yet. I've just told any SMS for that sake. Okay, as soon as an SMS comes, I'm supposed to listen, and I'm supposed to just put a toast saying that an SMS has come. If that works, my first step is done. Okay, what will be my second step then? Second step is to read that SMS. Okay, so whatever message you have sent me, am I able to read the content of that SMS? Okay, that is my second task. What will be my third task? The third task will be, in that SMS, do you have a 5-digit OTP? If you have a 5-digit OTP, take that 5-digit OTP and give it to my text boxes. Okay, so anyway, now it's installing. Let's see whether it works. Okay, let's hope that it works. Okay, the app activity is launching now. And as soon as this app started, it is asking, should I allow you to send and view SMS? Please remember, I only ask permission to view. But look at the message which comes. It says lab record 4, my application's name, to send and view SMS. I'll just click on allow. Okay, so SMS permission was granted. That's all is coming. Nothing else is there. Now I am just going to send an SMS to my app. Please note, I've not done the OTP code yet. So all I'm looking for is a toast here saying that SMS received. Okay, let me just send a message to my Android app. I'm just waiting here. You see, SMS received. Then the SMS notification comes because my priority was higher. The app priority was higher than the notification priority. So I saw the toast first, then I saw the notification. Okay, remember that. So the first part of my app is working. Let's go to the second part and see whether I'm able to read the SMS which is sent to me. Okay, so please note, when will this receiver be called? This receiver is called as soon as an SMS has been received. So what SMS you have received will be passed as an intent. Okay, now before I even move to the next step, I want you to understand. Let me just go to the emulator. Okay, and I'll open the SMS app of the phone. Okay, most of you already know this, but I'm just recollecting this for a very important purpose. Okay, an SMS looks like a small text message to you. That's all. Okay, but it is more than that. It is much more than that. Okay, how is it much more than that? Let me just choose that SMS. Okay, and let me go to details. I'll just say show details. You are able to see a small alert dialog, right, with no buttons but just a message saying that message details. What are the message details? What type of message is it, from whom it is coming from, okay, to whom it has been sent, and what time it was sent, what time it was received. One more thing will be there in your original phones called as message center number. Okay, whichever service provider you are using, they will have a message center number, and these are information. Now I want you to understand that one SMS this is. Okay, that one SMS has so many details under that. Okay, so since it has so many details under that particular thing, how will I engulf, or how will I take that SMS and put it in your Java? Okay, because right now I'm even though I'm writing Android code, basically it is Java code which I'm manipulating here. All right, so how will I get this SMS into a Java data type? You cannot put it as string, because if you put it as string, so much data, name value pairs are there. If you put everything inside that, it will be a problem. Okay, so you cannot put everything under one data type. Okay, so what should I do? Okay, you can easily convert it, or normally a system automatically thinks it as a object, not as a specific data type. Rather, it considers it as an object. And in Android, those objects, okay, which has more than one data and put them together, we normally call them as bundle, a bundle of data. Okay, a group of data. Okay, the technical word here is a bundle of data. So I'm going to get that, create a bundle here. Okay, so let me delete this and I'll just create our object of bundle. Okay, let me put the toast first itself, and then I'll say bundle, which is part of the Android operating system. Let me just name it as bundle only, is equal to small letter b. Please note the difference. That's an object name, is equal to intent. What is passed to me from that, get all extras. Please note, what is the return type of get extras? Return type is bundle. Okay, that's all. It's not over yet. I'm just telling that I have received the intent, what was passed to me as the bundle of data which is sent. Okay, because SMS is not one type of data. It is many types of data, or many data put together as one SMS. Okay, so now I'm going to write a simple if condition which says if the bundle is not null. What do you mean by that? If the bundle is not empty. If it is not empty means, what does it mean? It just indicates that it has something. So this if condition will only execute if the message what you sent has something in it. Okay, that's all. Now I'm writing this, and please remember I told you that if you are not able to map it to a particular data type in Java, we use a data type called as object. Please note it belongs to Java, not Android. You can see the package it comes from. Okay, java.util, and you have java.line. I'm going to call an object array. Okay, and I'm going to call that as SMS so that you understand what that object holds. Okay, why is it considered as an array? Because it has a lot of data under one name. Okay, the data type or the data structure which you're supposed to use when you have a lot of data under the same name, okay, we use an array. That's why I'm saying object array. Okay, and then I'm going to say bundle dot get extra, or get a particular keyword. The keyword here is protocol data unit. Okay, I'm not going into the depth of it because my concept is broadcast receiver, not SMS. Okay, so I'm going to just put PDUs. Okay, this means protocol data units. Okay, these are the keyword which the system uses while passing an SMS as through an intent. Okay, this is the keyword. This is not something which I put, guys. It's system word, so there's nothing to bother about. Okay, just need to remember this word PDUs, and whatever you get here will be converted into that SMS, and data type is object array. But the problem is this bundle.get. What does it return? Let's see that. Bundle.get. What does it return? It returns only object, a singular object. But I know for a fact that whatever is coming to me is a array of data. So I'm going to say get PDUs, and it will show an error obviously because you are trying to convert object into an object array. So what am I supposed to do? Use the suggestion and say, what does it do? Cast it. Cast it to an object array because it has a lot of data. I'm very sure about it. I just told you SMS cannot be just one data type. It has from number, to number, message center number, when it was received, date, date and time, when it was sent, date and time, when it was delivered. Okay, all these things are there. So I'm very sure that it is be an array of objects. So I put like this. Okay, next one, what I'm going to do is I am going to right now it is not in a proper structure, guys. It is just an object array, but now I want to convert it into an appropriate message what the user has sent to me. So I'm going to say SMS message. That's a class there. Please note it belongs to Android now. Object array belongs to Java, and SMS message belongs to Android operating system. So I'll just say SMS message, and I'll say the actual message what was sent to me. Okay, that I will use the class itself, SMS message. Please note the option here, SMS message dot create from PDU. I've got a PDU converted into an object array. So I have a inbuilt method here, SMS message dot create from PDU. Okay, what am I supposed to pass? I'm supposed to pass the message. Okay, what I got as SMS. And please note, at a time I'm only receiving one SMS. Okay, there is a chance that the same time you might receive a lot of SMSs. Okay, so in that case you can go through all these SMS by using a for loop, but in my case I'm very sure I'll receive only one SMS at a time. So I'm going to put SMS of 0. What do you mean by SMS of 0? First SMS what you receive. Okay, after this particular app is running, the first SMS what you receive. Okay, if you don't want this, you can put it inside a loop. You can put a for I equal to 0, I is less than SMS dot length. Like that, you can keep going through one by one. But I am very sure the first SMS which receives, I'm going to take and see whether the OTP is available there or not. Okay. Again, there is an error because it's expecting a byte and you have given an object. So let me just typecast it. Done. Okay. Right now, all information related to your SMS, whatever SMS you have received, is now stored in this object of message. Okay, so instead of putting a toast, because toast will not be able to show a lot of things in thing, I'll just put it in a log so that we'll be able to see what is coming. Log.d, I'll just put as the tag as SMS, and the actual data what I'm going to pass is I'll just say message is. Okay, I'll just put a colon and concatenate that with message dot get message body. Please note this will return a string which is nothing but the SMS. What actually message you received will be returned by this method. Okay, I hope this is clear. Okay, now let me move on. Then I'll concatenate that and I'll put it in the next line /n. Okay, and then I'll say who sent it. Okay, I'll just say sender. Sender means I will not get the name, guys. Please remember, sender means only number. Okay, but anyway, I want the number to be printed. So I'll just say message dot get originating address. Please note what is originating address, from where this SMS was originated. Okay, or where was the origin of this particular SMS, who created or who sent this SMS. These two information I need you to add it in the log. Okay, that's all. I don't, if you want, you can also put the toast as only the message. Okay, but it is since it will not stay for long, I put it in a log also. I am just going to say message, not the sender. Okay, message, what was it sent? Message dot get message body. That's all. Second step, what I'm about to experiment is, after you have received the SMS, am I able to read the SMS's content? Let me try. Okay, let me run the app once again. Now what I'm going to do is, in my emulator, I am going to send, okay, I'll also keep the logcat ready. In the logcat, I'm going to look for a thing called SMS. Okay, only the ones which have the word SMS, I want this to open. Once it is my app is right now dead, so let me, once it is open, it will work. Okay, so here nothing in the logcat with the word SMS yet, because I'm not sent anything. Let me go back, and please note what message I am sending. I'm just saying it is always a sweet treat or something like that. Okay, or I'll just say it's not a sweet treat. Okay, or is not always a sweet treat. I'll just put this word so that it knows that it's my SMS which I'm sending right now. Once I send this SMS right now, what should happen? My app should be able to see that it has received an SMS, also able to read the message what I've sent. Okay, that's what I'm looking for. Let's try. When I send this message, please note, first thing, SMS received, and I can read the message here. Notification comes last, but before that all, I've already got what is the message? Android is not always a sweet treat. And who's the sender? Whatever you see here, this is the sender. Okay, that's the sender here in my program. Okay, I've got the sender's number also. That's it. So I'm now able to receive SMS. Also, I'm able to read the SMS. Okay, I'll not put the toast anymore. Okay, a log is enough. I think you can see that log is always there. Toast means it will go away after some time. But anyway, I've got the log here and I've got the message. What is my next step? Okay, I hope you guys have understood the first two steps. First step, I try to receive the SMS. That worked. Second step, I'm trying to read what is there in that SMS. That also I have done. What's my next step now? I'm supposed to find what is the OTP. Right now, I've not sent any OTP anymore. I'll just change the message saying that your OTP is some number. Okay, and I want that number to be retrieved by my application. How do I do it? Okay, for that, I'm going to use a concept called as regular expressions. Okay, most of you would have studied that in Python. Okay, it also should have been learnt in Java, but I am going to use the Java version of regular expression. But I do not have time to explain what is regular expression. Please do refer and study what it is. Okay, if you want, you can also refer materials what we have shared with you. Okay, I think I can give you some cheat sheet in which you can see what are the regular expressions. It's very essential that you learn regular expression, guys. It will help you a lot in interviews. Okay, so anyway, I'm going to use a regular expression to get the message and search for an OTP in that message. If there is an OTP in the message, I'm going to pull it. How am I supposed to do it? First, let's take that message, what the user has sent, into a string variable. Okay, because I want to process it in Android or in Java, right? So I'm going to create a string, okay, and I'll name it as actual message, actual SMS, or actual message, or something like that. Okay, you can give a name, which is nothing but message.getDisplay body, or message body. Get messages body. So what will be right now stored in actual SMS? The complete SMS will be stored. Okay, right now it is there in Java. Now I can bring in my regular expression for pattern and matcher in Java. It's easier to do it in Java here. Okay, just put pattern. Please note it belongs to java.util.regex. Okay, pattern. I'm going to create a pattern. Okay, let's create a new pattern. Okay, I can just say pattern.compile, not a new pattern. You can see that there's a method, inbuilt method called pattern.compile. And within double quotes, you just need to give the regular expression. Please note, regular expressions are not specific to a particular language like Java or Python. Okay, it's general. Regular expressions work in almost all programming languages. All right, so now when you compile a particular pattern, what am I looking for? It's very simple. I'm looking for 5-digit numbers. Okay, I'm repeating again. I'm only looking for a 5-digit number. Okay, if I put this slash, it becomes a technical word there. So I'll escape that escape character by putting double slash and put D within brackets 5. What have I told right now? I want 5 digits. Okay, I'm looking for 5 digits in the SMS. But there is a small issue with this code what I've written. The problem is that when you write like this, okay, anywhere it finds 5-digit number, it will pick it up. And the first 5-digit number will be there. Sometimes you would have seen that in OTP, the message will be something like your OTP for transaction number, some number is, then they'll put the actual OTP. Okay, right now this code I'll just I'll just put a comment and I'll just write a message. Let's say that the OTP is like this. Your OTP for transaction ID, let's say that some number is there, okay, is 54321. Okay, now look at this SMS, guys. Okay, this, let's say this is SMS. Your OTP for transaction ID is so and so. Okay, and if you have any problems, contact us like that and all. They'll give you some number after that also. Now, if I compile this pattern, which 5 numbers will be taken? Okay, please remember that, not this 5 numbers, because you said 5 numbers. You didn't say exactly 5 numbers. So what will happen? These 5 numbers will be taken as the OTP. But that is wrong. It's not correct. So what you should do in regular expression, very simple, put boundary. I'll just put boundary. Okay, why am I putting double slash everywhere is because one slash means the technical word of Java. So if I put double slash, it becomes escape of escape character. Okay, now what have I told? Now which number will be okay in this transaction? This number will not be, because this number does not have exactly 5 numbers. But this is the correct one because it has exactly 5 numbers. Okay, that is the pattern. Next one, what I'm going to do is matcher. There is a pattern I need to match. So I'm going to create an object of matcher is equal to this object pattern dot matcher. Okay, with what? This pattern should be matched with what? With the actual SMS. So I'll just pass actual SMS. Done. It's not over yet. I'm just telling whether now if the matcher is able to find, okay, if the matcher is able to find a number which will match this particular pattern, then you have to do something. Okay, so before I even proceed, I'll create an object of or a variable called OTP. Int OTP is equal to 0. Please note, I'm initializing it to 0 because I'm going to assign it only if the message contains an OTP. If the message does not contain an OTP, I should not be able to do anything. So I'm going to keep this as a checker. Okay. So I'm going to keep a simple if condition saying if matcher dot find. What do you mean by that? If the matcher object is able to match the pattern which you have defined here, then do something. Okay. What am I supposed to do? Very simple. Assign that value. OTP is equal to matcher dot group. Okay, why am I grouping? Because system automatically understands that the pattern which you have given might be matching for 2 or 3 elements. But I am very sure the way in which I have written only, and I know that I am only generating the SMS, right? So I'll be very careful to send only 5-digit number as OTP. So when I do so, I am very sure that I'm looking for only one type of number. So the index will be 0. Okay, I'll repeat again. Matcher is searching for this pattern what you have created inside the actual SMS. Let's say this is the actual SMS. Okay, when I start searching for it, I found this number. Okay, when I find this number, I am grouping it. Let's say that I have another number. Let's say like this. It's a rare scenario, but it's not going to happen. This part will not happen, but I'm just telling like this. Okay, say here you see what and all matching will happen. Okay, very carefully, if you notice here, this number will not be matched because it is not exactly 5 digits. But this number will be matched. Also, this number will be matched. You follow what I'm saying, right? Okay, so when I do so, this matcher right now, when it finds, even if it finds at least one match, this condition will be satisfied. Okay, but I'm not looking for that one match. I'm looking for the first result of that. So here I have first result. This is second result. When I'm telling it is first and second result, but when it comes to the index, it is 0 and 1. So I'm saying get me the 0th value. So what is the error now? Because group returns a string. Okay, so what should I do? integer dot wrapInt. That's all, because you want it as a number, isn't it? So I'll just say OTP. Done. Okay. Now I am going to do another question, another if condition. If OTP is not equal to 0. Can you understand what I've written in that if part? Okay, if it is equal to 0, what does it mean? Which means you have not read anything. In that SMS what came, 5-digit number was not there. So OTP still remains as 0 because this condition was not satisfied. Okay, so if it is not equal to 0 means something has changed this OTP, which means somebody has got that number and put it here. Okay, and please be very careful while you're parsing the number. Okay, when you're parsing it, the problem is it will automatically remove leading zeros. Like for example, if your OTP is like this, if I parse this into an integer, what will happen? OTP will become 5432, not 05432. Okay, be very careful of that. So instead of int, you can always keep it as string also, no problem. Okay, but I just put it for your understanding right now. Okay, but in case you are generating an OTP which will have leading zeros, okay, in that case convert this into string. That's all. Okay, anyway, let's move on. Now I am going to say if OTP is not equal to 0, what am I supposed to do? Okay, first of all, let's just put a toast and see whether I'm able to read that OTP. So I'll just say OTP is, concatenate that with that integer value. That's all. Just show me the OTP. Okay, and also let us put it in the log so that even if the toast is not visible, at least the log I'll be able to see. Okay, I'll put a log as SMS and I'll just put the same thing. OTP is, concatenate that with OTP. Now please note guys, this is not required. I'm just putting this for your understanding. In the original program, you need not do this. Okay, this is for our benefit. Let me run the program again. Okay, let's wait. Okay, now this time please note I am going to send an SMS through my what do you call my Android emulator itself. Okay, I'm going to just type the same message what I have put here. Okay, let me just copy paste this only and check whether it works. Please note the message. Your OTP for transaction ID so and so number is this number. Okay, let me just put it as because it is int, right? So I'll just keep it like this. Okay, is 54321 but not 12345. So let's see what my my app is able to pick as the OTP. Let me just send an SMS and we'll wait in the logcat. Here SMS received, OTP is 54321. Okay, now let me just check it. Those who have missed that, you can see it here in the log. What is the OTP? OTP is 54321. I am able to fetch the OTP from the SMS what was sent because I used regular expression. Okay, it did not tell me 12345 because group of 0. Okay, I hope the code is visible and clear to you guys. It's not a big code. Wherever I put log, you can remove that log. If you want to see the log only, you keep it. Otherwise, just completely remove it. Now, what I'm going to do here after receiving the OTP is, I have to put it in this main activity. Correct? Okay, I have to put it in the main activity in the corresponding text boxes. That's the next biggest challenge we have. Okay, so I am able to read the OTP in my app. My next step would be to put that in the main activity. So how do I put that? First of all, note that all these 5 text boxes are only in the design. They are not mapped in the code. So let me map it in the code. Okay, how do I do that? Let's do that in the globally. Let me just create edit text. Okay, let me just name them appropriately because there are 5 controls, guys. So I'll be naming them as txt1, txt like that. I'm going to name 1, txt2. Okay, by the way in which I am doing is for simplicity. There is another control which will be able to give you that OTP text box. There are a lot of plugins available for it. Since I am not using any plugins, I am doing it manually. Okay, so txt3, txt4, txt5. 5 text boxes are there in my screen. Okay, I hope this is clear. So now I have only initialized them. I have not instantiated them. So I'll do them here inside the on create. Once I've initialized everything, let me just do txt1, okay, is equal to find view by id r dot id dot okay, I think I did not name them appropriately, so let me just quickly name them and come back. Okay, let me go to the first text box. Okay, and I'll name them appropriately, say txt otp1. I'll just put like this. Okay, I'll refactor it wherever it has been called. Second one, I'm going to say txt OTP 2. Refactor it. Third one, txt OTP 3. Refactor it. Fourth one, txt OTP 4. Refactor. Last one is txt OTP 5. Done. So now I've appropriately named them. It's always recommended you keep them appropriately named. Now let me come back here. Now it will make sense to me because OTP 1. I'll just copy paste this 3, 4, 5. Okay, now I'll just change it to 2. One is 2. This is 3. This is 4. This is 5. And also, do not forget, just copy pasting is not enough. You'll have to also appropriately name everything else. 3, 4, 5. So what have I done? 5 text boxes were there in the design. I've mapped them all here. Okay, and when will this be called? Okay, please note, I am not going to call it directly in the design. It's waiting for OTP. Okay, so the text should be filled not by me. As soon as the SMS has been received, SMS receiver does it, and once this condition is satisfied, once the OTP is able to fetch that OTP, then I'm supposed to call main activity and tell him to put the OTP in the text boxes. So how do I do that? Let me create a simple method. Okay, please note this, guys. I'm going to create a simple method, okay, inside this main activity. Okay, and I'll just call it as put OTP in text box so that you understand what that method is doing by reading that name itself. So I'll just say public void put OTP in text box. Okay, you name it whatever you want. I'm just putting it so that you understand what I'm trying to do through this. And what will be passed to me? I'll be passing OTP. Okay, let's not keep that OTP as a integer. You can always keep it as a string also, because if you want to keep that leading zeros, okay, it's always better to keep it as string. So I'll just keep string OTP is equal to blank. Okay, and if I'm going to write this as if OTP is not equal to blank. Okay, and I need not convert this part because it's going to give a string anyway. So now I've converted the OTP to a string, 5-digit numbers. Number will be taken care by my pattern. Here when I'm retrieving, I'm going to keep it as a string, because in case they have 0, 5, 4 like that, if they have leading zeros, if I convert it into a number, best example is just try to store your integer as 0, 1. Okay, when you print it, it will print 1 only, because leading 0 doesn't have any meaning for our this one, but OTPs, they might have meaning. So I'll come back here, I'll say string OTP. Pass that OTP to me and I'll put them into corresponding text boxes. How do I put that? It's very simple. I'm going to just put if, a simple condition, if OTP dot length is not equal to or equal to 5. I'll just keep it like this. What am I trying to do? I'm just trying to tell if the OTP which has come is exactly 5 digits long, okay, or 5 characters long, then only do something. Otherwise, don't do anything. Okay. So after this, what am I going to do? Call the text boxes one by one. txt1 dot set text. What should I set the text as? OTP, the message which has come, okay, or yeah, the string what you have received dot character at. Please note, if I sent you, let's say this is a string which I've sent, okay, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Please note, how will I get 5 alone? 0. Character at 0. Okay, and please note, what will char at return? It returns a character. Character cannot go in set text because set text requires a sequence of characters. So I'm going to put 0 and also concatenate that with double quotes. Just double quote. Open and close double quote, nothing inside this. Okay, remember that. I'll just copy this, paste it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes. So I'll just change it to 2 now. Here, this one will be 3. This one will be 4. And this one will be 5. And here I have to change the characters 0, 1, 2, 3 and 4. Okay, why 0, 1, 2, 3, 4? Because index starts with 0. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so that's it. Our work here is done. Let's check this now whether it works. Okay, and please note, I've not called it anywhere. I've just created a method, I've not called it. Where should I call it? As soon as the OTP has been detected by my phone, I'm supposed to call it. How will I call a method which is there in this class? This is another class. Please note, this is not nothing to do with Java. I mean, Android here, it is everything to do with Java. This is a class called SMS receiver. This is a class called main activity. Both are there in the same package, but they are different classes. You cannot directly call something, and it is not a static method to call main activity dot put. Okay, so what am I supposed to do? Let's create an object. Okay, so let me just create an object of main activity. Okay, let me just name it as activity alone. Okay, so and after that, or you can just name it as main activity object, however you want, is equal to new main activity. Okay, now I'm going to demonstrate one more issue with the program. I'll show that shortly. Okay, I'm going to call an object of new object of main activity. Please remember the keyword a new object of main activity, and then call that object and say put OTP in text box, whichever OTP you just got. Okay, this again will not work, guys. Why am I saying it will not work? Because you are trying to create a new object of main activity. When you create a new object of main activity, all the current objects of that particular class, okay, will be reset back to null. Okay, remember that. So if I don't want that to be reset back to null, what am I supposed to do? Okay, please remember the keyword called static. If you declare a variable static, it retains the value even when you reinstantiate your class. Here, this class has already been instantiated. Here, I am trying to reinstantiate that class once again. When I reinstantiate this, all the objects which were created will be reset back to its default value. So, all these values will become null. So when I put static, since that class has already been instantiated, all what the class had instantiated will still be with it. Okay, so I'm going to keep this and let me run the program. Okay, remember that I've put the OTP in text boxes. Let me run the program again. Let me come back to my screen. Okay, and here I'm going to put a different OTP number. Okay, let me just put 857 or something like that. I've kept an OTP and I'm waiting for the app to run first. Okay, so once the app is installed, I'll try. Okay, my app is ready to work and is waiting for OTP. Okay, the permission has already been taken. That's why not every time it's showing me anything. Okay, now let me try to send this SMS. Please note, what am I expecting to happen? I'm supposed to see a notification of the message later. Why? Because I've given the highest priority to my filter. As soon as the SMS received, my receiver will get it before than anything else, because I've given the highest priority. That's why in most of the apps, when you see, as soon as the SMS comes, before even a notification of the SMS comes to your phone, that OTP will be already filled and kept in the text box. Let's check if it works. Let me just click on send message. I want you to focus on these text boxes, whether they work. Here you can see that this text boxes got filled first. Then now I'm getting the notification of the SMS app. Okay, but you see that my OTP is filled here. What I sent as OTP is filled. Okay, now since I'm not using an actual phone, I'm able to do this how many ever times I want. Okay, but if you're using an actual phone, I think you have a limit of SMS. Okay, see whether you have an SMS plan and then do that, guys, because don't waste your money in that. Okay, but anyway, since in emulator it is always free, I'm just trying to send this. Okay, so when I send a new SMS, again, this should get cleared and I should get the new OTP be filled here. So now the OTP is filled, I can proceed to the next step. But I hope you understood how this part happened. Okay, a lot of concepts are involved here. Permission, broadcast receiver, intent filter, all these things together, you get this answer so quickly. Okay, but you see that SMS has also come. We never open this SMS because it's already there. And you see that even my system has given you a separate option called copy 847. But please note, that's the OTP. System also knows that this is not an OTP. It understood what is the OTP because they have done it. This is not the code which I wrote. Okay, I can directly copy that because again, there's a regular expression playing here. Okay, that's why you're able to see this. I hope this is clear to you guys. Now we have done an OTP app. Okay, that's the first part of our program. The lab record, what I discussed, the first part is done. Please try this in your system. Let's do the second part quickly and then we'll wind up. Okay, so what is the second part? Now I am sending the SMS, isn't it? Okay, but I'm sending it directly without even asking the user to give a phone number or something like that. Now let's do something like how WhatsApp does. We will ask a number from the user, let him enter the number, And once he enters the number and says verify number, I am going to confirm with the user, are you sure this is the number? I'll show the number to him again and I'll say, are you sure you want to use this number? Okay, and how do I do that? I use an alert dialog, which I discussed yesterday. Okay, so let's do that quickly now. Let me just close this. Let me go back. Let me add a new activity to my app. Okay, I'm going to add a new activity, an empty activity. Okay, I'll name that as send activity, because I'm going to send SMS through this activity. I'll not, please note, I want the send activity to come as the launcher activity. So I'm going to just choose launcher activity and click on finish. Okay, please note the flow what I'm telling. In the first activity, you are supposed to enter the number and press submit. In the second activity, I'm supposed to wait for the OTP. But what I did first was I wrote the code for receiving the SMS or receiving the OTP in the first main activity itself. So now let me go to manifest. You'll be seeing that two activities are there. One send activity, one main activity. Both has the launcher filter. Intent filter is there for both. I don't want both. Okay, I don't want to see this design till I have asked the user for a number. So what I'm going to do in the manifest is I'm going to remove the filter from the main activity. I'm just going to delete the intent filter from the main activity. Now what will happen when I run? When I run, main activity will not be called directly. First send activity will be called. Okay, and in send activity, I'll be asking the user to enter a number and all those things. Let me just do the design quickly. Let me go to send activity now. And I'm going to put a linear layout because I don't want to use the constraint layout. Let me just apply the constraints, and inside this I'm going to put first one a text box. Okay, and it is going to take a number from the user. So I'm going to just take this. It's phone numbers are always numbers, so I'll just put one text box and I'll put one button, nothing else. Okay, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to just give some appropriate margins to these two controls so that they are a little bit far away from each other. Okay, that's all. I'm not going to give much. Let's go to the control one by one now. The first control, I'm going to name it appropriately. Okay, so let me just name it as txt mobile number. Okay, so I'll just put txt mobnum, the text box which holds the mobile number. That's all. Okay, and inside that some properties I'm going to change. It is going to be a number. I'll give a hint saying that enter your mobile number. That's all. I'm going to keep only that much. Enter your, that's a hint. It'll go away when you start typing. Okay, and no text will be there. Text appearance, I can just change it to large. Okay, so that the number is a little bit bigger, and I'll make the color as black itself again, and let the number be a little bit bold so that the user can see clearly what he's typing. That's all I've put. Okay, and the next thing is the button. Let me click on the button. I'll change the name of the button. Let me just name it as BTN verify. Okay, refractor. And let me change the content of that, okay, or the text of that button from just the word button to, I'll just put it as verify number. Okay, give a bigger size and color, guys, that I leave it to you guys. Okay, so depends on how you want it. And here I'm going to give width is equal to wrap content. Okay, and since it's coming like this, I'll just change the gravity to center. Okay, now I've given, you just need to enter a mobile number here and you click on verify number. I'm supposed to ask you whether this number what you have entered is correct. Okay, if it is correct, I'm going to just send one SMS. That's all. Now, another important thing comes into picture. Okay, you do not have permission to send SMS. All I have asked is to receive and read SMS. Okay, so how do I fix this? Just add one more. Okay, let me just say uses permission to send SMS also. Sending SMS requires a little bit more higher privilege. So I've put all the three now: receive, read, and send. The first part only required receive and read. This part requires sending. Okay, so how do I write it? Let us quickly write this also once again here. Okay, I know it's not required. I've already written it here. I could have taken the permission only once. That's more than enough. While sending only, if sending permission is given, reading and receiving permission is smaller than that. Okay, so anyway, let me come back to send activity, and first get the permission to send SMS. Okay, how do I write it? By now I think you are familiar with it, so I'll quickly write this. If check self permission. Okay, manifest dot permission dot send SMS. If it is not equal to granted. Okay, request permissions, new string array. Even though I'm asking only one permission, I have to use a string array. Manifest dot permission dot send SMS. I ask you to get the permission to send SMS, and I'll just name this send SMS code. Okay, let's fix one by one issues. First of all, this check self permission is only working in SDK M. Okay, first error is fixed. Second error is to create a constant field which is integer. Let me name it as 456. Okay, some number, some code is there. Okay, and next one, on permission request permission result. What am I supposed to do? Let me remove this not null errors. One and the second one also. Okay, I hope by now you know how this flow goes, so I'll just quickly write that. If request code is equal to send SMS code is the same if one more if grant results of 0 is equal to package manager dot granted. If it is granted, what am I supposed to do? Put a toast. Okay, permission granted. Okay, now else part. Now you see there is a small problem here. You are not supposed to proceed here. If you don't have permission to send SMS, how will you even send or receive or be able to trigger an SMS? You are not able to. So you just will put a toast saying that cannot proceed without permission. I'm not stopping my app, but I'm just saying cannot proceed without permission. Okay, I leave it to you guys how you're coming out of the app. Okay, but anyway, I'll just put cannot proceed without permission, and you can just come out of it. Okay, how you can say is you can say this dot finish. Okay, if you call this dot finish, this is nothing but to this dot finish means what? This is the object of this activity. Okay, this represents the current object, and I'm saying finish, which method will be called destroy. On destroy will be called, which means on stop. On pause, on stop, and on destroy will be called by just one word called as finish. So which means you are killing this activity. Why am I killing this activity? Because you cannot proceed without permission. If the user denies permission to send SMS, what is this activity going to do? Nothing. Okay, so you need the privilege to send SMS. Okay, please remember that. This is not required to finish the activity, but I'm just showing you how to stop an activity once some condition is not met or something like that. Okay, done. So permission part is done. What's my second thing? Get the SMS from the user. So first of all, let me create an object of that edit text so that I can get the text message which is there. So here I will name it as let's say mobile number text. Okay, so I'll just say mobile num txt. Okay, I'll not instantiate it. I'll instantiate it inside the on create. I'll just say mobile number text is equal to find view by id r.id dot et. Okay, I put txt mobile number. Okay, txt mobile number, done. So now I have mapped it. So anywhere in the code I can get the value what is typed in the text box. Okay, so now let me come back to the design. Please note, when will I start working here is only when you click on this button. Okay, I don't want to use the first and second method of attaching a listener. I'm going to use the third method. What is the third method of attaching a listener? Create your own method. So let me create my own method. Let me come out of all these which is already written. I'll just create public void, no return type should be given. And what is a method name? I'm going to say let's call it as click action or show alert or something like that. Okay, so when you call a method, okay, only condition we have is that on click of that button, what do you want me to do? So I'm going to just give any name you want. You can give any name that's user defined, but only one condition is that the view, what control did you click on, that should be passed. Okay, now if you go to the design send activity, let me click on that button and search for an attribute of that button called on click. Okay, on click. Let me just choose that, and you see that the method which I just created came here. Let me just choose that. Now every time you click on this button, I'll automatically call this method which is written here. Okay, it's very simple. Now once I do so, what am I supposed to do once you click on the button? I'm supposed to get what you have typed in the text box. Okay, so first of all, please note, I cannot store a phone number. Okay, I cannot store that phone number, which is 10-digit number, into an integer. Int does not hold such a big number. So what should I use? Long. Okay, so I'll just put long mobile number is equal to this edit text which I created here. Okay, mobile number text dot get text. Get text returns editable. You can notice that there. So I'll have to use it as toString. I cannot convert it into a string because I'm trying to store it in a long. So what should I do? Wrap it. Long dot parse long. Just like integer dot parse int, parse long dot parse long. Done. Now you have got the number and store it in this particular thing. I have to show an alert dialog to the user. Okay, how do I show an alert dialog? Yesterday we have already discussed, so I'm going to quickly write the code for that. Alert dialog dot builder. I'm going to call that builder is equal to new alert dialog builder in this class. Okay, builder dot set title. I'm going to put the title. I'm going to say confirm. And then I'm going to concatenate. I'm going to continue with that or chain objects to it. I'll just put the message. Okay, what am I supposed to put as the message? I show the mobile number to the user and say, is this the number you have given? Are you sure that this is the number? So I'll put the mobile number first. Okay, and then concatenate that and say, is this the mobile number you have given? Okay, I'm asking this question to confirm. And in case he says, yes, this is the number. So positive button, I'm going to say yes. Okay, I'll just say send. This is the text. And if you click on that, what should happen? Dialog interface. Okay, once you click on that, what am I supposed to do? Okay, let me keep that on hold. Let me finish the code completely. Set negative button if he says no, I want to change, or I'll just say no, change. In that case, do something else. Okay, again, dialog interface. And should I allow you to cancel it? No, this is not cancelable. Cancelable, false. You cannot cancel it. You have to give an answer. Okay, that's it. Now let's write the code. If you are clicking on yes, what am I supposed to do? If you're clicking on no, what am I? The no is an easier way. What is no then? No means cancel, right? So just need to make sure that when you click on no, I want you to cancel this dialog, this alert dialog. Okay, so dialog is anyway passed to you as an object. Just call that method, call that object and say dismiss. What am I supposed to do? As soon as you click on no, if you want to change, I'll remain in that same activity. So I'll just say dialog.dismiss. Dialog is already passed to you. Just call it and say dismiss. So if you click on no, this alert dialog will go away. Okay, but if you clicked on yes, there are some things to be done. What is that? Okay, so first thing is you have to generate OTP and then send it using SMS manager. That's it. In words, I can tell only this much. First, let me generate an OTP. How do I generate an OTP? Just simple. You can use the object of random in Java. I can just create random r is equal to new random. Okay, nothing else I'll pass. There are various ways, guys. Okay, you can find whichever way is suitable to you. Okay, I'm going to create a string OTP using this random function. But again, I want a number, let's say starting or within 5 digits, right? I want to, I can use nextInt of random, which will generate numbers exclusive of the last number. Okay, I'll just show you first. I just want to say r dot nextInt. Okay, it's showing error right now, but I'll just show that first to you. What is r dot nextInt with a boundary? Okay, so let me just go to the quick documentation of it. You can see that it returns a random uniformly distributed int value between 0 inclusive and the specified value exclusive. Okay, what's the last 5-digit number? 5 times 9, that's the last number. Okay, so I can just or I can say 4 times 9, or okay, however I want it. Okay, so I am going to keep it as 999 or 4 times 9, okay, or 10 times 9, however I want. Okay, so just to make sure that I get 5-digit number, I'm going to use string format. So I'm going to say string dot format Most of you would have done this in Java. If not, please do remember. Okay, this is formatting a string even with leading zeros. So I'm going to say percentage 0 5 times digits. Why 0? Leading 0. Okay, and 5 times digits. What is the value? R dot next int. Next int, I'll just say 10,000. Okay, so whatever number you give, whatever number, even if you put 10,000 or 1 lakh, doesn't matter. What I'm trying to do here is, I wanted to generate 5 numbers. If let's say, for example, if you generate 999 or 4 times 9, I'll add 1 0 extra. I'll put 09999. Okay, so I can change it however I want, but any time, any at particular time, I'll get a 5-digit number. Okay, that's why I've written like this. Now OTP is ready. All I need to do is make an SMS. Okay, let's create an SMS, send it using SMS manager. So I'll create another string called message, what you are supposed to send. Okay, so I'm going to type this, guys, as through code only. Your OTP is, concatenate that with whatever you have generated now. Okay, and you can also say some message extra like please do not share with anyone. Okay, if you face any issues, okay, contact this. If you face any issues, contact us at some number. Okay, done. SMS is ready. Okay, OTP is ready. With that OTP, I created an SMS. All are ready. What's my last step? Send that SMS. How do you send it? Use an SMS manager of the Android operating system. Okay, this is why I said I'm going to talk about telephony to trigger an SMS. That's what I've given in the question. Just recollect that. I'm saying SMS manager. Okay, let's call the manager is equal to new. I'll not create a new object because please note every phone has its own SMS manager. By default, SMS manager is the one with the system sends it along with you. But if you have made Truecaller as your SMS handler, still SMS will keep going to your default SMS manager. So I'm going to call SMS manager. Okay, please note I'm going to say SMS manager dot get default. Get the default SMS manager, and using that manager send what? Send a text message or a data message or a MMS. Okay, however you want. I am going to send a text message, which is nothing but SMS. Okay, see the parameters I'm supposed to pass. Number one, to whom do you want to pass? Okay, from where it is going. Sometimes when you receive an SMS, you don't see, like for example, bank SMS and all what you get, you won't have a number, you'll just have a text. So number is originating number is not important, but destination is important. You should have your number, right? So whom should I send this SMS to? Okay, you should send the SMS to the number which I just got from the user. Okay, so how will I get that number? Okay, just call that text box. You see here, we have the text box created globally, isn't it? This text box, just call that text box. Okay, so I'm going to call text box dot get text dot toString because it's expecting a string to be passed. Because why is it expecting a string? You can see that here. Why is the destination address, source address all are string? Because phone numbers, if at all, they have +91. Because of that plus symbol, okay, you cannot store it as a number. If you put it as number, plus cannot be stored in the phone number. So they have given string. Okay, second thing, source address. I don't want to give a source address, so I'm going to say null. Next, what is the message you want to send? That I've just created now, message. Okay, remaining everything I'm going to keep it as null. I don't have anything else. Okay, a pending intent and all I'll take about in the next class. Okay, so I am not going to have any more data, only this. Two times I'll just give null. Do you have a pending intent and do you have a delivery intent? Okay, I don't have any of those. I'll just give null to all of them. My work is done. That's it. Okay, but this is not over here. Okay, after sending the SMS, I'm supposed to wait for your OTP to come. So I want you to go to the next activity. What is the next activity? The next activity is main activity. So I'll just say intent. I want you to go from one activity to another. So obviously I'm going to call intent space I is equal to new intent. Okay, but I need to pass two parameters here to intent, from and to. Okay, I want you guys to be very careful of writing this. Okay, because normally in all our other programs, I just wrote the word this. When I write the word this, I am representing the current class. Okay, I'm representing the current class. But please note, where am I typing it? If I write the word this, whom will I refer to? Please note where you are inside. You are inside a new object of on-click listener. So if I say this, I point to on-click listener, not to send activity. I'm supposed to point to the send activity. I cannot type this comma, okay, and write it. This is not correct because this means from this interface. I don't want this interface. I want to say send activity, this class name dot this, specifically to from this class to main activity dot class. Be very careful of typing this, guys. Okay, if you are not inside a listener interface, you can directly write this because this means it will point to send activity. But right now you are inside on click listener new object. Please note where the code you are writing. So if you are writing this here, it points to listener. That's why I'm writing like this. Next line, start activity, which means go to the next activity with this intent. That's it. Our work here is done, guys. Our program is done. Let's check how it works. Okay, and please remember, in my emulator, I cannot send SMS. Okay, so in your phone, you can try this. It should work. Okay, but in my phone, all I'm going to do is click on send. Okay, and I'll be showing the SMS manager to see whether SMS has been sent, because from emulator, it cannot be actually going to a particular number. I'm going to leave it like that. Okay, so please note one more thing. I've only built that builder. I've not asked you to show the dialog here. So I'm going to say alert dialog space dialog is equal to builder dot create. And after that, dialog dot show. Done. So if you click on the button which is there, I am going to take the number what you have passed, and I'm going to ask him, is this the number you have given? If you say yes, I'll take that number and generate a random OTP number and send it to the next activity, which will wait for that OTP to come. Once that OTP comes, that activity will take care. Okay, in this activity, I don't talk to the receiver at all because I'm not receiving, I'm rather sending. Okay, if you click on no, I'll stay in the same page. This dialog will go away. We'll be staying in the same page to enter the number. That's all. Let me run the program and check this. And with that, we will stop. Okay, but I wanted to see how this working happens and understand each and every concept which is involved in this particular lab record program. Okay, so wait for the emulator to come. Now, please note, when the page runs, lab record 4 program runs, you will not be seeing that waiting for OTP activity. Okay, rather you will be seeing the first activity, which I kept as send activity because I've kept that as the launcher activity. Okay, now please note, I didn't get any permission question because you already have the permission to read and write, read and send SMS. Okay, so anyway, let me just start. If there is a problem with this, permission, I would have got the message. Since I'm not getting anything, I'm okay. I'll proceed. Okay, so I'm going to just type some number. Okay, and I'm going to click on verify number. Okay, you see that there is a dialog coming, confirm. The number what I typed, is this the mobile number you have given? Yes or no? Okay, if I say yes, it should go to the next one. Let me just click on no. What did I write in no? Dismiss the dialog. That's all. Which means right now it is still blinking here. You can go and change it. You can modify this to any number you want. Okay, and then click on verify. Now I'm going to say yes, send. Okay, once I've sent, I'm coming to the next activity, waiting for the OTP. Okay, let me just pause. Let me go to the SMS and see whether that SMS what I sent is also added here. Here. Just now an SMS has been sent from my emulator, but it will not reach because this number, it will not work here anyway. But you see that your OTP is, okay, it has sent an OTP, but I'm not able to get that because I'm not in an actual phone. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just copy this message and send it to my emulator. Okay, let me just check. Let me open my app and wait for it. Where is the lab record? Yes. Okay, now let me go back. I'll delete this. I'll paste that message. I'll send it to my emulator once again. Okay, you can see that my OTP has been filled, including the leading 0, which you see there, 06212. This is a random number I generated through Java and I sent it, even including initialized as 0 because I changed it into string. If you had kept it as an integer, 0 would have been eliminated because leading 0 doesn't have any sense in integers. Okay, that's it. So our lab record is done.